Well,
some of these scenes were so intense. This level of performance, this level of acting is, I don't even know if I have the words for how good they are. How's it going, guys? It's Nate. I'm back with another video, and today I am breaking down Les Miserables. Now, this is like an official movie breakdown of the 2013 version of Les Miserables. This movie is the newest adaptation of this story. There's been a lot of them, Liam Neeson, and older, obviously it was a Broadway show, and all from the original novel, published in 1862, Victor Hugo. This novel is actually considered one of the greatest novels of the 19th century. And it's no wonder. The story is impeccable. The world building is amazing. And there's a deeper concept of the rigidity of law and justice when it meets grace, mercy, and love. Forgiveness. So it really is a powerful story as well as a beautiful story. Heartbreaking. It has the whole range of emotions. It's beautifully put together. But as it is, we're breaking down the 2013 film, Hugh Jackman, Amanda Seyfried, Eddie Redmayne, etc., etc., etc. Obviously, these videos could be so long and have been long in the past, so I want to keep it pretty concise. So let's jump right in here. This story has a much deeper foundation than just a story. Obviously, the story is beautiful and incredible, but it also has a deeper concept talking about how grace and mercy interact with imperfect law, with the imperfections of law as it pertains to imperfect humanity. And that just is a powerful thing because humans aren't perfect and can never fulfill the perfection of the law. And so that balance of grace and forgiveness, there has to be that. Otherwise you get dogmatic justice with no heart, and it breaks people because humanity is imperfect. So I love that concept, and I think this story just encapsulates it perfectly. Jean Valjean is obviously a criminal. He's wanted. He's not a good man. Now, the story starts and you relate to him and you feel for him because of the reason he was put in prison in the first place. And back then, you look at history and it was so harsh. People were going to prison for the smallest things. And even historically, people were just looking to survive in whatever means necessary. And I think it's important to look at history with that lens and realize just how harsh it was. He stole a loaf of bread, goes to prison for 19 years, and comes out the other side a changed man, and not in a good way.
never forget the years, the waste, nor forgive them for what they've done. They are the guilty, everyone.
His whole focus is hatred, unforgiveness. I will not forgive them for what they did to me. Now, this mindset, this jaded mindset, actually brings him to his next failure, which is stealing from the people who showed him nothing but kindness. He's tried to get a job. He's trying to get what he needs to survive. And at this point, he's sleeping in a stable and cold. And this bishop shows him mercy and kindness.
When suffer you are weary, and the night is cold out here. Though our lives are very humble, what we have to share.
He knows he's a criminal. He knows he's not a good man, right? And brings him in, feeds him, clothes him, gives him a bed. And what does Jean Valjean do? He steals from him. He steals all the silver, and runs. And I think this is good just to kind of look at and realize this is what being jaded does. Even situationally, if we become jaded against a certain thing or a certain situation, something happens, and we have a right to be angry. We have a right to be upset, even if we were wronged. If we become jaded, we actually close ourselves off from receiving blessing from other people and allowing people in our lives that we need. We shut them out. We push them away. And that's what being jaded or unforgiving does. It hurts us, as the old cliche goes. It hurts us way more than it hurts them. So this is a perfect situation where that unforgiveness, he turned on the people that were kindest to him and stole from them. What happens? He gets dragged back. He gets caught. They're ready to prosecute him. Those soldiers were not playing around. And what does the bishop do? He shows him mercy and grace and love. And this is foundational for Jean Valjean's character for the rest of the story. He was shown this grace and mercy and given over to God. And it's foundational for who he is from that point forward.
Jean Valjean is nothing now! And the story must begin!
Javert. His character is literally the persona of rigid law, of perfect law. Every action he takes is dogmatic, pure, order. His entire character is based on the idea of no grace, no mercy, just justice. Pure and simple, justice. In his mind, we are called to perfection because the law requires it.
No. Follow to the letter your itinerary. This badge of shame you'll show it till you die. It warns you're a dangerous man.
And so him being the perfect persona of the law is the perfect counterpart to Jean Valjean's character of grace and mercy and his foundation of that. And the fact that Javert was one of his persecutors just adds to that in a way that's impeccable.
Filling the darkness with order and light. You are the sentinels, silent and sure, keeping watch in the night, keeping watch in the night.
Even this song, everything he's singing encapsulates who he is and what he believes. He admires the stars for their order, sentinels, silent and sure. You know your place, right? Order in the sky. You hold your course and your aim. That means you're perfect, which isn't even real, but that's everything that he is. That's everything that he believes. His pursuit of Jean Valjean is just, it's right, it's perfect, it's the law. But perfect law breaks under the pressure of forgiveness and grace. And that's exactly what happened. His character is so rigid in his belief that he cannot reconcile the love and forgiveness that Jean Valjean showed to him, and it breaks him. He can't handle it. He snaps. This visual representation of that suicide and his character breaking under the pressure is exactly what it looks like when grace hits the perfection of the law. Because it's like, okay, if law is a contract, perfect in and of itself, when it's fulfilled, it's torn up, it's ripped apart, it's broken, it's done, it's complete. So this is a powerful representation because that grace was just too much for the law, that rigidity to handle. He didn't know how to handle it. So it's incredible, that visual representation of it. Now, obviously, these are two main characters in this story, but this story is huge and multifaceted, and there's so many more characters that have full story arcs and their own struggles and victories of their own, but add to each other as well. So that's not even diving very deep on the characters, but it's just incredible how masterfully carved each of these characters are and how they add to each other's story. Obviously, pulling from this historical event of, this revolution, it helps with the building of the world and the realism of the world. But to write a story this multifaceted and to write it this realistically, world building, nothing's unrealistic, everything holds up, is powerful. Now, obviously, this wasn't the original French Revolution. This was a uprising after that.
There was a time we killed the king. We tried to change the world too fast. Now we have got another king. He is no better than the last.
But everything about this story is perfectly formed. I mean, that's why it stood the test of time, even across all these mediums. Now, filmmaking in this adaptation of the story, is actually really quite simple and basic. There was no like gorgeous movements and well set up beautiful shots. It was all quite simple, foundational things, and I think that's powerful, and I also think that's purposeful in what they wanted you to feel. Basically, with what they did, it being simple, a lot of it was handheld. It kind of was like you're here, you're watching this happen right now with us, because different camera movements, different shots and stuff tell the story in a different way, and this definitely was like you're right here, you're live watching this, kind of like a Broadway show. That's just kind of the feel you get. Which I think was purposeful and great directing. Nothing flashy with the production of this. It is not produced. It's not overproduced. Even with them singing the songs live, that's perfect. That's exactly what the entire film is like. It's rough, but that I think adds to the entire concept that this is rough. This is harsh, and it's not that they didn't sing well. I mean, some people didn't like certain performances and stuff, but honestly, any imperfection, I guess I'll use the quotes, in this film actually adds to it for me, in all honesty. What really sells the story in this adaptation is the performance of these actors, and everyone was perfectly casted in my mind. I mean, the way they sung, each of them in their character. Anne Hathaway, Hugh Jackman, Russell Crowe, Eddie Redmayne, all of these actors performed incredibly well. They did such an incredible job, and especially with these being one takes, you're singing this song, and their performance. Some of these scenes were so intense. This level of performance, this level of acting I don't even know if I have the words for how good they are. In all honesty, I think this was the perfect cast to do this. And the little imperfections some people didn't like and stuff actually add to it to me. It's a lack of production, and it just adds to the intensity and the reality of it. Honestly, my personal rating of this movie, I rate on a scale of 1 to 100, and this movie is a 98 for me out of 100. This movie almost sets the bar for me for other movies. So good. So 98 out of 100, final score. That's it for my rating for Les Miserables. It's actually Les Miserables. This is one of my favorite movies of all time, so it's like I wanted to start on a high note here with this style of video breakdown or movie breakdown. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you did, make sure to like, comment, subscribe for more. Suggest your favorite movies of all time. Drop them in the comments. I would love to see what you guys watch and break it down myself. You know, whether I've seen it before or I haven't, I'd love just, you know, study it a bit and break it down, my own thoughts, my own opinions. Make sure to drop those in the comments. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.